So unit 1, okay, that is concept, functions, measurement, and the theories of the money supply determinants. So unit 1 and unit 4 will cover thoroughly that portion, because 1 and 4 are related, because balance sheet, different types of multiplier, and your multiple deposit creation, that means credit creation policy. Okay, again the determinants of money supply, that topic is mentioned. Okay, and the Indian banking system. So, and then unit 5 also, that is the RBI, that is the Reserve Bank. Okay. So let's start our discussion with the concept of that is money. That is what is basically money, and the different stages of money. So in macroeconomics, basically, there are two different view of money, two different views. Okay, these are not definitions. One is classical view, and another is modern view. So according to classical view, we know that is the concept of classical dichotomy. That is, you can split the entire money into, that means the money means your, sorry, not money, that is all the variables into two parts. That is in the real variables and our, আচ্ছা অনেকে তো জয়েন হতে কিছু পাচ্ছে না, সেটা আমি দেখেই নেবো। অঙ্কন আমি তো নর্মাল এটাই পাঠিয়েছিলাম। এতজন স্টুডেন্ট এই যে মানিতে আছে 113, নাম্বার অফ স্টুডেন্ট ক্লাসে সব মিলিয়ে জয়েন করে হচ্ছে এই 85, 80 to 85। বাকিরা কোথায় যায়? তাহলে এতজন গ্রুপে কি করে? The classical view means that is, you can split the entire market, that means all the variables into two parts. One is real and nominal. So you know what is the real variable? Real variable means when our money supply rises, but there is no change in the that means no change in the variable. That is, these are called basically real variables. That means you know about the neutrality of money in the classical version. That means when money supply rises, then your that means a poor diagram case. Okay, your employment. Okay, W by P, because your W rises, P rises, but W by P remains unchanged. Your real GDP Y remains unchanged. Okay, so that is actually, and your employment remains unchanged. So all the real variables are unchanged. So we can easily, that is according to classical economics, that is like classical dichotomy basically refers to the point that the price level is determined in the monetary sector of the economy. So if the quantity of money becomes double, then if the other factors remain constant, then your price of all the goods and services and that means also become double. Okay. Okay. When you consider the modern view, okay, that is when the rate of inflation, that means suppose general price level rises, that time in the for the short term stability, the central bank has to keep inflation under control. So there is no need to change the money supply. But when normal price level rises, to set up, that is for the adjustment, the central bank can change the money supply. So that time he can affect the money supply. So these are the basic concept of money. Okay, আমি একটু just macro version টাকে just বলে দিলাম. Okay, now next if we consider the basically the evaluation of money, that means a different stages, that is the evaluation, okay, of money. That means here you can start with the barter system. Okay, that is the barter system. Under the barter system, we know that is the buyers and sellers. They basically that is buyers and sellers of the commodities had to face a number. That means they basically exchange their goods. Okay, but there were some problems, and that means the problem of use of commodities. So this is as a money, okay, that is as a money, medium of exchange, not money, as a medium of exchange. Before money, we use goods. Okay, that means goods means maybe any kind of grains, wine, salt, kettle. Okay, but the use of commodities as the medium of exchange has some drawbacks, and we all know this. Suppose at the kettle, suppose goat, you want to sell, you want to buy crops, wheat, but you have a goat. So it is goat at a vary in size and quality. So, and it is not easy to that is carry the goat all time around the area, that is around the market, or where the that means the during the debt settlement. এটা সব সময় একটা গোট নিয়ে এদিক ওদিক যাওয়াটা পসিবল না. Okay, similarly, if you want to buy a very small amount, that time you cannot exchange with goat. If you want to buy a bulk amount of wheat, then it's okay. But if you want to buy 1 kg or 2 kg wheat, that time the deal is not possible. Okay, আরো অনেক problem আছে. Maybe you need grains, that is wheat, but your other partner, it is not necessary that he or she also need a goat. So that time the transaction is not possible. Okay. So that's why they suggest such a longevity. That means if you hold that is that for the barter system. So all time you are trying to sell the product. That means quickly. Okay, because due to that means পরে কি হতে পারে, disease হতে পারে, for aging problem, death হতে পারে. So valuationটা fall করে যাবে for the commodities. So that's why you consider the use of precious metal. Use of precious metal. That means gold and silver. So now this gold and silver, they did not suffer from any of the disadvantages of the barter system. Both were easily available in the market at a that means at a small piece. So for day-to-day transaction, and the carrying cost is also very low. Okay, also very low. Also very low. Okay, so that is basically the main evaluation of in the that means as an evaluation of money, the gold and silver stage, it plays a very vital role. Okay. plays a very vital role. So then we can know the next step, that means next use, okay, that is the metal coins. Okay, so it is widely basically believed that that is in the Greek culture, that is first introduced in the that is Greek culture, that is standard units. Okay, so that means you can use the coin like gold coin, silver coin. Okay, okay, fine. Like normal gold bullion যেটাকে বলে, instead of carrying gold bar or silver bar, it is better to use that is use gold coin or silver coin. But actually there is a problem. Problem is about the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means, suppose you melt gold and make a coin, and the valuation of the coin is, suppose, 20 rupees. But it's a silver coin. But for the, as a silver, if you melt this silver and use as a ornament or as a that means your সঞ্জীবনী, তুমি এইমাত্র জয়েন করলে না? অ্যাকসেপ্ট করেছিলাম। That means if you join, that means if you use this metal, so there is a possibility that the value, that means its intrinsic value, that means its metallic value is quite higher. So at that time there is a problem. At that time there is a problem. Okay, that if you use, so for 1 rupee coin, okay, from 1 rupee coin basically you can make 4 blade. Okay, so that's why a circulation, its actual monetary value is just 1 rupee. If you use this 1 rupee coin, okay, initial, that is heavy 1 rupee coin, so you can buy a product that is just a small matchbox. But if you melt this 1 rupee coin and make 4 blades, and if you sell each blade at 5 rupees, so you can make 20 rupees from this 1 rupee. So its intrinsic value is higher than its that is intrinsic means that is metallic value is higher than its face value. So this is basically the problem with the metal coins. So when metal coin take, suppose a metal coin as a gold coin, sir, why not gold? Okay, so gold coin, the problem is its metallic value. If its metallic value is higher than its face value, that means if you use this gold coin as a coin, okay, with that gold coin, suppose you are able to buy 50 rupees of goods and services because ওখানে লেখা আছে 50 rupees. But if you melt gold, that coin, and use as a gold, then for metallic value is higher. So that is the problem with the metal coins. Okay, so then jeta chole elo, that is paper money or jetake amra boli fiat money. Okay, so fiat money means that is there is a government decree. That means government basically put one that means the right that governor sign আছে. Okay, so suppose it is 100 rupees, so government decrease their power is there. Okay, with this note you can buy 100 rupees of goods and services. Okay,
Sir, এটা কি মানি বললেন?
ফিয়েট মানি, এটাকে বলে তোমার বলা পেপার কারেন্সি বা ব্যাংক নোট।
টি তো লাস্টেরটা টি তো?
হ্যাঁ, টি 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 টি।
আচ্ছা,
ওকে। ঠিক আছে, দেখে নাও। ওকে, এখানে কোনো কপি কোনো কিছু কোনো পয়েন্ট দিয়ে করা হয়, তারপরে নেক্সট পার্টে যাচ্ছি। ফাংশনসে যাব, দেন ডেফিনেশন। Okay. So these are the main stages or the evaluation of the money. Okay. Now next one is that is the basic functions. Functions of money. Okay. So the first one is primary function. Okay, we all know about the functions. আমি just একবার একটু recap করে দিচ্ছি, সবাই জানে। So first one we know that is a medium of exchange, আমি লিখলাম না, medium of exchange. So this is basically the primary function of the money. Okay, that means as a medium, okay, that is for one kind of good, that is to exchange the one kind of good for another, you can use money. Okay, then another one is measure of value. Okay, that means measure of value means suppose you have 30 liter oil plus 5 kg wheat plus 6 packet biscuit. So what is your net wealth? You cannot take 30 plus 5 plus 6 because their units are different. Now if you know price per liter 100 rupees, per kg 30 rupees, per packet 10 rupees. So then it is rupees 3000 rupees of oil plus 150 rupees of wheat plus 60 rupees of biscuit. So total that means 3260. Okay, 3210. Okay, so that is your valuation. So as a measure of value, you can use your money. Okay, and directly we may write, that is here actually we split all the functions of money into different parts. আমরা যেটা বলি primary, secondary and the others. Okay, that means others means your contingent functions, that is the other functions or special functions which is called. Okay, but normally you can directly write ওই 4 values. Okay, 4 values এর মধ্যে দুটো হচ্ছে medium of exchange and the unit of account. Okay, and another one is store of value. Okay, now under secondary another one is store of value. Okay. So basically people have to keep a store of value, that is store value for various purposes. There is a link. Okay. So this is, for example, suppose a cultivator who produces a particular kind of crop in year must have some that means of public, that means purchasing his requirements throughout the years. Okay, so money is used for this purpose. That means you can hold money according to your that means when the cultivator basically sells his crop for money and keeps the sales proceeds. Okay, that means for sale, make money, with that money buy the requirements. Okay, that is basically the store of value. That is according to your requirement, according to timing, you can buy. Okay, then another one is basically deferred payment. So deferred payment means that means when you purchase, that is when you take loan from bank, then during the payment, that is end of the month, you have to pay. That time you can pay through this that means your in terms of money. Okay, you cannot pay in terms of goods. The bank manager ki bolle, sir, okay sir, this is your principal and as interest, sir, take this switch or this product. It is not possible. You have to pay in terms of money. So it is a payment system in terms of money. Okay. Yeah.
স্যার একবার একটু পেজটা একবার উপর থেকে স্ক্রল করে দিন না।
Functions or your that is special functions are there, that is the distribution of national income you measure in terms of money, that means when you calculate the contribution of agricultural sector, different sector you measure basis of, that is credit, we measure in utility chapter, measure marginal utility or everything we measure in terms of money, that is when I consume I get this level of satisfaction, this rupees of satisfaction, and I have to pay this. So if my marginal utility in terms of money is greater than my payment, then I should go for the product. Okay, so that one. Okay, any kind of liquidation, that is liquid form. Okay, basically measure liquid form of capital, also measured in terms of money. So these are basically the basic functions of money. For short question or short note, you can prepare this. এগুলো খুব বেশি আসার chances নেই. Okay. Then next one is now the measures. That is very important. Okay. Measures of money supply. Basically, the amount of money rotate in the economy in a fixed period of time of a country, that is called supply of money in simple language. And there are 4 symbols: M1, M2, M3 and M4. But this M1 is called, narrow money or narrow definition. They call it narrow definition, narrow money. Okay. And that M4, that is called broad money. Okay. Now, one by one, let me explain.
বলছি ব্রড মানে আমরা
M3, তাই না? M3 ব্রড মানি না? M3 ব্রড মানি, রাইট, তাই না? M3 তো হ্যাঁ ফার্স্ট আরে ব্রড মানি।
M4 তো টোটাল মানি, M3 তে টোটাল মানি
হ্যাঁ ওটাই ব্রড মানি। ওটা M3 তে মানে সব কটাকে যখন কভার করছি। আসছে না এক এক করে। হ্যাঁ বলো। হ্যাঁ কিছু বলছিলে তো? হ্যালো।
আর স্যার M0 টা ধরবো না?
M0 M0টার তো কোনো ডেফিনেশন আমি জানি না, চারটে সিম্বলই জানি। স্যার M4 ই তো ব্রড মানি। M1 and M2 ন্যারো মানি। M3 and M4 ট্রিটেড as ব্রড মানি স্যার বইতেই ছিল। M4 ব্রড মানি, M3 তো ব্রড মানি। না M3 and M4 স্যার। M3 ব্রড মানি 4। স্যার ব্রড মানির আন্ডারে
M3 ন্যারো মানি আর M2 M4 ব্রড মানি ছিল।
ওরকম ভাবে সে হতে পারে, বাট বেসিক্যালি আমি ব্যাংকুতে বোধহয় M1 টাকে ন্যারো মানি আর এটাকে বোধহয় ব্রড মানি। না স্যার ন্যারো মানির আন্ডারে M1 আর M2 আর ব্রড মানির আন্ডারে হ্যাঁ আর ব্রড মানির আন্ডারে M3 M4।
স্যার কিছু কিছু বইতে ডেফিনেশনে দুখানা করে দিয়েছে আর এমনি কিছু বইতে M1
হ্যাঁ অ্যাকচুয়ালি M1 and M3 M1 and M3 ন্যারো মানি এন্ড ব্রড মানি। ঠিক আছে এগুলো কত ন্যারো মানির মধ্যে দেখবে ম্যানকিউ সফটওয়্যার ম্যানকিউতে যেটা আছে সেটাই ফলো করবো, যেখানে যেটা আমাদের বইতে বোধহয় M1 M4 M1 M2 M3 M4 আছে, একবার দেখে নেবে। বাট ম্যানকিউটাই দেখি। মানির চ্যাপ্টারটা চলে আসলে লাস্টের দিকে আছে, দেখলেই মানে যে দেখবে যেটা আছে সেটাকে একটু ফলো করো তাহলেই হবে। কনজাম্পশনের পরে মানি নাকি কনজাম্পশনের আগে মানি? হ্যাঁ একবার স্যার আপনার বইতে পেজ নাম্বার 3 তে আছে। That means the metallic coin or paper currency basically মানে held by the public, and then another one is the demand deposit and other deposit. Now basically what is demand deposit? Okay, that means your current deposit or in case of money supply, currency and deposit, there are two parts of money supply. This one, currency and deposit. Current deposit means that is you can anytime, any amount according to your requirement you can withdraw. That is your current deposit. There is a difference between current and fixed. For fixed deposit, for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, that is a fixed. Okay, now for 5 years, 3 years, if you deposited your money, then according to the agreement, bank basically offers a higher interest rate compared to the current valuation. Okay, current rate of interest. So that's why the current valuta bank basically offers that is higher than the normal situation. So bank এই higher টা কি? Now suppose তুমি suddenly after 6 months you need your money, you decide to withdraw. So you cannot enjoy that rate. That time you will get a flat, that means a normal interest rate. Okay, if you that is withdraw your money just before 1 or 2 days, put your money for 3 years, just before 1 or 2 days of the maturity, if you withdraw, okay, that time you will get only the normal interest rate. Okay, for fixed deposit, time deposit. Okay. But for current deposit, anytime you can withdraw. So for this reason, money of current deposit, that means it's just like liquid money. Okay, that is anytime. So these are narrow means that is a liquid form. Anytime you can withdraw. Okay. Then again we know for the এটা হচ্ছে actually deposited by the public in the commercial bank. Okay. Now similarly, when you consider that is the government of any country and the different banks, okay, that is different commercial banks, not necessarily commercial, different types of banks, they also deposit their money in the central bank, that is in our country like the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so just like people, they also deposit. Okay, a cooperative bank, a commercial bank, all they can deposit. Now again, there are two types of deposit. In simple language, we say required reserve. In case of reserve, ওই দুটো part হয় না, required and excess, like that. So again, the amount of money basically deposited with the central bank cannot be withdrawn. Okay, that means according to your willingness or according to your requirement, that is called deposit money of the central bank. Deposit money of the central bank. So what is other deposits? Okay, so এই যে deposited, এই যে for the under the deposited money, যেটা suppose the extra part, okay, that means the portion of the money of this deposit that can be withdrawn according to the willingness of the depositor. So here the commercial, cooperative, okay, they put their money in the central bank এ রাখলো, but anytime they can withdraw. So that is other deposit. So this is also flexible. So that is M1, that is CU plus a deposit. That is a flexible type deposit. That is actually the narrow definition. That is the narrow definition. Okay. Then when you consider M2, in M2 they consider M1 plus the post office savings bank deposit. Post office savings bank deposit. Okay. আমি এটা in detail যাচ্ছি না কতটা. Okay. So that is M2. হ্যাঁ,
আদার ডিপোজিটটা একবার বলবেন
কোনটা? আদার ডিপোজিট। আদার ডিপোজিট হচ্ছে, দেখো সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংকে the commercial bank, cooperative bank bound to hold some amount of deposit. ওটা বলে ডিপোজিট মানি অফ দ্য সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংক, লাইক রিকোয়ার্ড রিজার্ভ রাখতেই হবে, ভল্ট ক্যাশ ছাড়াও তোমাকে একটা ডিপোজিট রাখতে হবে। সো ইউ ক্যান পুট সাম এক্সেস সেখানে। তাই আদার ডিপোজিট মিনস দে ক্যান deposit the money in the central bank and anytime they can withdraw. That is other deposit. Okay, so here we are not taking the deposit money of the central bank. That the central bank, all the banks are bound to hold, okay, maintain. That is not the part. That is not the part of M1. M1 এর part হচ্ছে that part which they deposit in the commercial central bank, but anytime according to their requirement they can withdraw. মানে যেটা এখানে লাইক ডিমান্ড ডিপোজিট, মানে আমাদের ফিক্সড ডিপোজিটটা কি, এনিটাইম ইউ ক্যানট উইথড্র, বাট কারেন্ট ডিপোজিট এনিটাইম ইউ ক্যান উইথড্র। তো এটা যে ডিমান্ড ডিপোজিট, লাইক এই পাবলিকের সেম আদার ডিপোজিট ফর দা সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংক। ওকে, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
স্যার, তার মানে পাবলিকের ডিমান্ড ডিপোজিটে M1 এ অ্যাড হবে, কিন্তু কমার্শিয়াল ব্যাংকের গুলো অ্যাড হবে না, তাই তো?
কমার্শিয়াল ব্যাংকের গুলো তো অ্যাড হচ্ছে, এই তো।
মানে যেটা উইথড্র করা যাবে না ওইটা?
না না, ওটা তো ফিক্স টাইপের হয়ে গেল, ওটা তো ওকে বাউন্ড টু হোল্ড ইন দ্য সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংক। না হলে মর্টগেজ টাইপের না, ওকে রাখতেই হবে, ওটা হোল্ড করে রাখতে হবে। ও যে ওটা করতে পারে না, বাট ও যদি বেশি কিছু রাখে সেটা যখন তখন নিতে পারে, হয়তো ও ইন্টারেস্ট এনজয় করছে, ওর কাছে অনেক লিকুইড ক্যাশ আছে, মার্কেটে ডিমান্ড নেই অত ক্যাশের, ওটা সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংকে পুট করে রাখলো, ডিপোজিট করে রাখলো, একটা ইন্টারেস্ট পাচ্ছে, এবার ও পেয়ে গেল, লোক পেয়ে গেল ফর লোন, উইথড্র করে দিল। দ্যাট ইজ আদার ডিপোজিট। ক্লিয়ার? একদম সিম্পল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে বললে এটাই। আর M2 ইকুয়ালস টু এই পোস্ট অফিস সেভিংস তোমার হচ্ছে ব্যাংক ডিপোজিট। ওকে, এবার এই জায়গাটা বলি, এই জায়গাটা নিয়ে বোধহয় একটা কনফিউশন হয়েছে এর মাঝে। যাই হোক, স্টুডেন্টরা বলছে M3, লোকে ভাবে M1 হচ্ছে এই, M2 হচ্ছে M1 প্লাস দিস, M3 হচ্ছে M2 প্লাস সামথিং। দ্যাট ইজ রং। নট M2 প্লাস সামথিং, M1 plus, now this is a term deposit or fixed deposit. So check, that one is not included in M3. পোস্ট অফিসটা এখানে নেই, পোস্ট অফিস সেভিংস পার্ট। M1 plus fixed deposit, that means our term deposit, that is M3, that is actually our broad money. Okay, and when you consider M4, that time M1 plus your post office savings bank deposit plus our fixed deposit or term deposit. Okay, so that is our M4. So if you write, sir, M4 means M3 plus something, M3 plus something কি করে হলো? তো পুরো তোমার অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টটাই হয়ে গেল রং। ওকে, সো দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ওকে, এই জায়গাটা করো। ওই ন্যারো ডেফিনেশন, ব্রড ডেফিনেশন ওটা একটু ম্যানকিউটা দেখে করাই বেটার। তাই কিন্তু আমি পড়ানোর টাইমে এটাই বলি, M1 and M3। ওকে,
স্যার ওটা ফিক্সড ডিপোজিট লিখেছেন তো?
কোনটা?
ওটা ফিক্সড ডিপোজিট তো?
হ্যাঁ, ওটা টার্ম ডিপোজিট বলে।
তবে ওর মধ্যে আমরা আরডিও তো নিই, আরডিও তো নিই, রিকারিং ডিপোজিট।
and ফিক্সড ডিপোজিটের মধ্যে টাইম স্প্যানের উপর ডিপেন্ড করে যেরকম করে। এটা তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটা ফ্ল্যাট ভার্সন। ওকে, ফ্ল্যাট ভার্সনের উপর বেস করে ওরা অ্যাকচুয়ালি এই ইয়েটাকে লিখছে আর কি, যেরকম যেরকম ডিপোজিট গুলো। ওকে, সো এর মধ্যে ম্যাক্সিমাম হতে পারে হোয়াট ইজ M1, হোয়াট ইজ M2, হোয়াট ইজ M3, এই পোর্শনটা আসতে পারে। তো এই জায়গাটাকে একটু রেডি করো, ডেফিনেশন গুলো দিতে পারে, ডেফিনেশন গুলো কোশ্চেনের মধ্যে আসে। ওকে, এবার হচ্ছে ডিটারমিনেন্টস। এই ডিটারমিনেন্টস পড়ানোর আগে আমি একটা জিনিস বলি, এটাকে একটু অন্যভাবে বেসিক্যালি আমাদেরকে জানতে হবে বা পড়াতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, ওটাকে ওই নর্মাল ওরকম ভাবে পড়লে কিন্তু হবে না। কারণ এর আগে আমরা যেখানে পড়েছি সেখানে আমরা অল টাইম পড়েছি এক্সেস রিজার্ভ ইকুয়ালস 0। এক্সেস রিজার্ভটা কিন্তু এক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু 0 হয় না। ঠিক আছে, এক্সেস রিজার্ভটা যখনই 0 হয় না, যেটা আমি দেখাচ্ছি, শুরু করছি। সো when your excess reserve not equals to 0, so excess reserve যদি not equals 0 হয় তাহলে কিন্তু ওখানে টার্মটাও চেঞ্জ হয়ে যায় আর কি। সেটাই হচ্ছে, ওটা পেলে একটু বেশি ভালো হতো। ঠিক আছে, broad money, demand deposit, as a deposit. Okay, so when you consider that is deposit with the commercial bank, deposit বলে But then again there are two parts. One is reserve, and rest of the part you can provide as a bank loans. But this time ये reserve এর, okay, so এই যে reserve এর দুটো part হয়. One is basically required reserve and another is excess reserve. Okay, so excess reserve টাকে বলে vault cash or free reserve. Required reserve, that is mandatory. In most of the cases, okay, our third semi যেটা আমরা করি, we assume excess reserve equals to 0. Excess reserve এর ভ্যালুটা equals 0. So when our excess reserve value equals to 0, that means your reserve and required reserve both are same. আমি এখানে একটা চার্ট করছি. So that's why when you consider reserve deposit ratio or required reserve deposit ratio, so both are same. So when you consider required reserve, that value is beta. So your required deposit ratio is also denoted by beta. But when your reserve equals to required reserve plus excess reserve, that time your reserve deposit ratio becomes required by deposit, excess reserve by deposit. So your reserve deposit ratio equals to beta plus gamma. So when the excess reserve term is there, that time your required reserve and the reserve deposit and the required reserve deposit ratio both are not same. It is required reserve and that is only reserve and that is excess reserve. So in our normal macroeconomics in semester 3, that time we consider this one, that is we take excess reserve equals to 0. Excess reserve equals to 0. Okay. Now we'll derive all the multipliers without taking excess reserve equals to 0. ওভাবে নেব. Okay, আর then just modify করব all the multipliers. ওদের ওখানে কোনো ডেরিভেশনই নেই. আমি শেয়ার করে দেবো বে এন্ড জেনসন. Okay, and that time you can see, okay, ultimately they consider ওই excess reserve, that means normal multiplier টা লেখা আছে. Even the normal derivations are also not there. Okay, ওরা only consider করছে এই পার্টটাকে. Okay, clear? Now the derivation. Okay. For derivation you can follow our book or our notes, my notes. Okay, notes টাকেই তুমি ওখানে পাবে. Only just one change, that is ওখানে আমরা just alpha beta টাকে ইন্টারচেঞ্জ করছি, আর কিছুই না. পরে গিয়ে একটা গামা ভ্যালুটা নিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লায়ার গুলোকে সব বলাই আছে, ওটা পুরোপুরি ওভাবে আমার করে দেওয়া আছে. ওকে স্যার, আগের পেজটা একটু স্ক্রল করবেন স্যার, আরেকটু আমার দিকে. আমি কিন্তু আমার মতো করে করে দিচ্ছি. যখন আমাদের বইতে দেখবে, বইতে একটু আলফা বিটাটা উল্টো করে করা আছে. হ্যাঁ, ওটা প্রিন্ট করেছে, ওটাকে উল্টো করে আমার ঠিকই আছে. মানে কারেন্সি ডিপোজিটটাকে নিচে বিটা আর রিজার্ভ ডিপোজিটটাকে নিচে আলফা. আমরা এখানে যেরকম আমার নোটস এর সেটাই করি, মানি নোটস বই থেকে করুন, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই. ফার্স্ট they consider currency deposit ratio, that is denoted by alpha. দামি নিচ্ছে আমার, and reserve deposit ratio, that is your required reserve by deposit ratio, both are same, no excess reserve, that is beta. So your currency equals to alpha into D, your reserve equals to beta into D. Okay. So, and our money supply equals to, that is M equals to currency plus deposit. So currency plus deposit এটা কি গল্পটা? গল্পটা suppose your money supply you have 100 rupees. So rule বলছে sir 100 rupees, suppose you hold 40 rupees as a currency and 60 rupees you deposit in the commercial bank. A commercial bank now can maintain but CRR যেটা বলি cash reserve ratio, that is your required deposit ratio, এটা that is actually our beta, that means actually our beta, এটাকে বলে CRR. that value is suppose 10%. Okay, suppose as a reserve you hold 20 rupees and rest of the 40 rupees you provide as a bank loan. So out of this 60, এটা হচ্ছে 10% of 60, 6 is your required reserve, 14 is your excess reserve. এই হচ্ছে মেইন চার্ট, এটাকেই বলা হচ্ছে vault cash, যেটা তুমি হেল্ড করছো as a excess or the free reserve. So এটা not necessary, anytime you can, so max to max you can provide 60 থেকে 54 rupees loan, এই যে এটা 14 rupees extra. Okay, that 14 rupees you can provide as a loan, but that 6 you have to maintain by the norms of RBI. Okay, here now we also consider, so this is your equation 1, 2 and 3. Our excess reserve this time equals to 0. Now in the next part we consider, that is high powered money. So high powered money, that is the stock monetary base, equals to currency plus reserve. That is actually the concept of high powered money. Okay, so in simple language we can say that is your high powered, that is the demand for high powered money, and its that means sources are our, that is currency and our reserve. So basically বলা যায় when you consider the high powered money, বলতেই পারো this is nothing but the quantity of currency in circulation. Okay, that is metallic coin and the paper currency issued by the government and the central bank of the country. That is actually high powered money. Okay, that is money in circulation. So if there is money in circulation, a currency reserve, okay, that is actually the circulated part. Okay, so it is a high demand for high power money, and this one basically depends on the behavior of the public. And that one, a reserve deposit depends on the commercial bank, that is they will hold more reserve or less reserve, এর উপর ডিপেন্ড করে। মেবি এটা বিটা ইনটু ডি না হয়ে বিটা প্লাস গামা ইনটু ডি হতে পারতো if the excess reserve not equals to 0. So it depends on the behavior of the commercial bank. Okay, and the supply of high powered money equals to H bar. Now এটা depends on the central bank. It depends on the central bank. Okay, fine. So now from high powered money, you know HD equals to CU plus RE. So simply put alpha D plus beta D, that is alpha plus beta into D. This is your equation 6. Now you know at equilibrium HD equals to HS. So your alpha plus beta D equals to your H bar. So your deposit equals to 1 by alpha plus beta into H bar, that is suppose your equation 7. Equation 7. So equation 6, equation 7. Now just recall our first equation, main equation, that is M equals to Cu plus D. So this one is M equals to Cu, you know, alpha into D. Why? Cu equals to alpha into D from equation 2 plus D. So what is your money supply value, M value? Alpha plus 1 into D. D, replace D. So from equation 2 এটা হচ্ছে next from equation 7. Okay, so money supply M equals to alpha plus 1 plus alpha plus beta into H bar. So that is our money supply equation. So money supply, according to this explanation, derivation, okay, your money supply is basically a function of alpha, beta and H bar. Alpha, beta and H bar.
So can you scroll upwards once?
Okay. Yeah.
হ্যাঁ স্যার
Hmm?
হয়ে গেছে
আচ্ছা, খুব ভালো। না তাহলে কপি করো। ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট অফ আর, এখানে এটা কি করে দেখো, m equals to alpha plus 1 by alpha plus beta into h bar, and one interesting part is that is also greater than 1. Why? Since your beta is less than 1. Beta less than 1. Why? Because what is beta? Look, your beta equals to, your beta means reserve by deposit, and reserve is a part of deposit. There are two parts of deposit, reserve and, so see, reserve is 60, deposit, reserve is 20, deposit is 60, so 20 by 60, the value is 1/3, less than 1. So that's why the value money multiplier is greater than 1. That means, and that means you increase your hypod money by 1 rupee. If the system can boost more than 1, then it is not a good thing. Okay, so money supply, so that one equals to this. So simply we may write it's a function of money multiplier and H bar in simple language. Then again, it's a function of money multiplier. Money multiplier depends on alpha and beta and H bar. Okay. Then next, again you can split few factors which can influence our beta value. Okay. How? The first one is called sigma. That means uncertainty. Okay. The level of uncertainty. So uncertainty means, so uncertainty of that means uncertainty of market. Suppose your market, that is the system is very much uncertain. That means if anyone takes loan, it is not guaranteed that he or she will pay back that amount. So there is a huge uncertainty. So then and then it's better to reduce your loan, that is credit wallet, your credit facilities. So when you reduce your loan, that means you increase your reserve. So when you increase your reserve by deposit ratio also rises. So in that way, it depends on uncertainty, and you can say with beta uncertainty. So that means when your sigma rises, uncertainty rises, that means your beta also rises. The value is positive. Check, clear or not? Okay. Okay. প্রবলেম থাকলে কিন্তু ক্লিয়ার করে নাও এটা। Next one, suppose the R D বা B R D. So this one basically implies that is a, এটাকে বলে আবার বলে হচ্ছে bank rate. So bank rate, that means at which your securities basically submitted by the commercial bank to the central bank. Securities টা কি করি? Basically we use our securities as a বলবো, that means as a that means guarantee. That means yes, deposit security and take loan. Okay, and definitely it will be that means discounted according to the market rate of interest. So simple language, when the commercial bank borrows fund from the central bank, that time end of the day, end of the month or end of the year, the commercial bank has to pay a rate of interest to the central bank. That is called bank rate. Now when this bank rate rises, bank rate এর একটু লজিকটা বলি, that bank rate, what is the purpose of holding excess reserves by the commercial bank? So today, হ্যাঁ,
তাহলে ব্যাংক রেট আর রেপো রেটের মধ্যে পার্থক্যটা কি?
না, এখানে সিকিউরিটিটা তোমার হচ্ছে বেসিক্যালি ইউ হ্যাভ টু সাবমিট এন্ড ইট ইজ ডিসকাউন্টেড। ওকে,
মানে রেপো রেটে কোনো কোলাটেরাল থাকে না।
এটাতে সিকিউরিটিজ এর পার্টটা ডিরেক্টলি মানে সিকিউরিটিজ এর ইয়েটাকে থাকছে না আর কি। হ্যাঁ, নর্মালি ইফ ইউ কনসিডার ব্যাংক রেট আর যদি রেপো রেটটা যদি নাও, ওটা টু সাম এক্সটেন্ট সেম, কিন্তু ওই এখানে হচ্ছে জাস্ট নর্মাল ডিফারেন্স এরকম ভাবে বলা যায়, যেটা হচ্ছে তোমার কি বলবো, when you borrow মানে উইদাউট সিকিউরিটিজ যদি তুমি বড় করো, এটাকে বলা যেতে পারে। ওকে, মানে একটা লেন্ডিং রেট। ওকে, আর একটা হচ্ছে উইথ সিকিউরিটি, মানে তুমি যখন সিকিউরিটি দিয়ে যেটা বড় করছো, কি হয় অ্যাকচুয়ালি নর্মালি ধরো ইনফ্লেশনের টাইমে সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংক বেসিক্যালি সেলস সিকিউরিটি, সো এটা একটা সিকিউরিটির থ্রুতে সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংক ধরো ইয়ে করছে, দ্য গভর্নমেন্ট বন্ড, সো সেল বন্ড অ্যান্ড সিকিউরিটিজ, দ্যাট টাইম ইউ ক্যান পারচেস। সেখানে যেমন থ্রু সিকিউরিটিজ হচ্ছে, দ্যাট ইজ বেসিক্যালি ইয়োর দ্য কনসেপ্ট অফ দ্য ব্যাংক রেট অ্যান্ড উইদাউট সিকিউরিটিজ। ওকে, সো ব্যাংক রেটের কি হচ্ছে, সাপোজ ব্যাংক রেটে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য পারপাস অফ হোল্ডিং এক্সেস রিজার্ভ? So when you hold excess reserve, basically kalke suppose any individual puts her income the 5 lakhs in any bank, so bank bollo ba take deposited amount 5 lakhs, 10% required reserve, okay, maintain 50,000 in the central bank, put kore dilam, deposit korlam, rest of the 4,50,000 provide করলাম as a loan, as a credit, okay, give it to the another party. I'm জানি যে because after maturity days 1 year, but before 1 year suddenly individual বলো no I need my money, so that time you bound to pay, এই করতে পারো, তুমি deny করতে পারো না, you deny for granting loan, you have that is bank has that right, ব্যাংক কাউকে বলতে পারে আমি তোমায় লোন দেবো না, I think your papers are not okay, so I can deny. But if you put your money in my bank, anytime you can withdraw. Yes, maybe there is some penalty and all, I have that, so rate of interest, the rate becomes very low, but still you have to pay. But you already provide your that means his or her 4,50,000 as a loan to the any other person, but তুমি ওকে গিয়ে বলতে হবে please pay back my loan, that's not possible, so that time you have to take loan from the central bank. And a simple language that now if the central bank charges a very nominal rate of interest, then it's good for the commercial bank. Anytime if we require, okay, we can take loan from the central bank at a 4 or 5%. That's better. Fine. But if the central bank charges 8 to 9%, so that time it becomes very costly for the commercial bank. So commercial banks that time all time try to maintain some excess reserve in the bank. So look, when they maintain excess reserve, okay, that means their total reserve amount rises. Total reserve amount rises. As simple like a story moto bolla. So when their reserve rises, that time their reserve deposit ratio also rises. That means beta rises. So if del beta by del RD, that is also greater than 0. Simple. Okay. The next one, required reserve rises. So very simple. If required reserve rises, your total reserve rises. It is required reserve rate, not required, not R. It is R by D. Basically, when required, that is actually CRR in simple language. Okay. So your that value, required value rises. So when your required value rises, excess reserve take 0 dollar, that is actually our CRR. So required rises, that time your required by deposit rises, your beta also rises. So del beta by del R, that is also greater than 0. Okay, the required rise korle your beta value also rises. Next one is your rate of interest. Now there is a difference. R দিয়ে একটা difference, এটা হচ্ছে central bank charges rate of interest from commercial bank, আর এই R হচ্ছে rate of interest means that is interest rate charged by the commercial bank to the general public. So এবার আরটা rises, R rise করে গেল, that means 10% to 13%, people are ready to pay 13% rate of interest. And people are ready to pay 13% rate of interest. Okay, done. So by provide more loan. If we need, we'll sell our securities or deposit securities. We'll take loan from the commercial central bank and all, or from the general public. দেখা যাবে যে no মানে rate of interest 30% is huge amount. Okay, provide loan. একটা পেয়ে গেলাম একটা লোক যাকে ওই 13% দিয়ে দেবো. So when R rises, that time you maintain just the minimal amount of the reserve. So your total reserve basically falls because due to fall in your excess reserve. That time you are not maintaining more excess reserve. You are maintaining just required reserve. So reserve টা reduces. So reserve by deposit falls. So beta falls. So del beta by del R, that is less than 0. So these are our structure. So that's why you can say it depends on sigma, RD, RR and R. Okay. So this is actually our complete figure of the money supply. That one depends on so many factors. Depends on so many factors. Okay. Okay. Main partটাই যাচ্ছে money supply. So normally we know money supply EMS equals to M bar. So R money supply part হচ্ছে exogenously given. So this is called exogenous money supply. Exogenous money supply. So we already show our money supply is a function of money multiplier, which is a function of alpha and beta, and beta is a function of sigma, RD, RR, R, H. সিম্পল এভাবে দেখো দিচ্ছি আমি চেইন রুল মানি সাপ্লাই ফাংশন অফ আর ডিলেফ বাই এটা এভাবে লিখে আরো বেটার হয় বুঝতে সুবিধা হবে এভাবে ফাংশনটা লিখছি money supply is a function of money multiplier. So chain rule. Money multiplier is a function of beta. Beta is a function of R. So ultimately, it is money supply and R, their relationship. So in that way, you can determine. So when money supply, formula equals to money multiplier into H bar. So when your money multiplier rises, your money supply rises. So that value is positive. Now your money multiplier is again alpha plus 1 by alpha plus beta. So when beta rises, money supply, money multiplier falls. So that relation is negative. When beta rises, money multiplier falls. We again prove that with R and beta, there is a negative relation. When R rises, then we are checking for more credit. The commercial bank are ready to agree for more credit. So that time beta falls. So the entire value is greater than 0. So this time when you derive R and money supply, these are upward sloping. So that is called endogenous money supply curve. The exogenous money supply curve. So these are the determinants of the money supply. Okay. Okay. দেখে নাও।
অনলাইন ক্লাস করতে
হ্যাঁ তুমি ফোন করেছিলে কেন?
ওই মিষ্টি যেন হাজার হাজার আমি 10 টাকা করে 40 টাকা আমার মিষ্টি নিয়ে আসতে হবে।
কিচ্ছু নেই।
কিচ্ছু নেই, সব শেষ। ওই দোকানে প্রচুর সেলিং, তাকে 40 টাকা মিষ্টি নিয়ে আসতে হবে।
ওকে।
ব্যাস,
ঠিক আছে, লিভ করো। যারা অনেকক্ষণ ক্লাস করছে, এর আগে ক্লাস টাস অনেক কিছু ছিল, তারপর মাথা খারাপ হয়ে যাবে।
হয়ে গেছে।
গুড নাইট।
গুড নাইট।